Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Julia, for that little introduction. I didn't expect that. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you to Carmela for your words earlier today, and thank you to May for that space. It really brought to light how important it is that we get as many young people out there to be aware of the Sustainable Development Goals. So this is me, and I spent at least 15 to 20 minutes thinking about what is it that I want to put on my first slide, and how do I put myself up there. And then I put a photograph of myself, and then I said, nah, that's a little too much. And then I took it out. And then I thought, okay, maybe I just put the title. And then that was just like, that's weird. And so in the end, I literally just took my business card and clicked the photograph and put it up here. So if you need to get in touch with me later, that's where you can get in touch with me. A little bit about myself. So my name is Niels, like you can see up here. And I represent a global organization called ISEC. And I'll show you a little bit about what we do. But really quickly, my background was, so I'm Indian, and I was born and raised in Bombay. And yes, there's some Indians in the house, I guess. So I'm here from Asia, so it's good to be back home. I studied in a university, and as I went to university, one of the things I realized was that my education was not giving me everything that I felt I needed at that point of time, and so I joined this organization called ISEC. I was 19 years old then. And this organization transformed me as an individual. I'll simply not be the same person I used to be when I was 19. And it is because of the things that we do as ISEC. And I just wanted to show you a little bit about what is it that we do.
Every generation has the chance to shape the world, but the challenges faced today are more complex than ever before. And yet everywhere, education systems are leaving young people unprepared to deal with the pace of economic, social, and technological change. The world is defined by the people who live in it, so we believe the solution is to develop responsible and entrepreneurial young leaders today who will choose how the world will be led tomorrow. Unlike anyone else, we do this by providing practical leadership experiences to tens of thousands of young people all over the world. Since 1948, we've created challenging environments where young people can connect to the world, have the confidence to learn, and have the freedom to fail, where they can discover what really matters to them and realize their potential for the future. We give young people a chance to see the world, because if you see it, then you can start to understand it. And if you understand it, then you can start to change it. That's why we've committed to provide life-changing leadership experiences to 1 million young people in the next 3 years. Because when we add all those leadership stories together, we'll see a truly remarkable impact on the world. History has shown us what just one great leader can do. So imagine what 1 million great leaders could do. This is why we do what we do. But it's your world too. So how will you shape it?
So that's ISEC. In 2 minutes. So I'm not going to bore you about, what we do now and how we're going to do that and all of that. But I actually just want to highlight one of the coolest things that we've been doing as an organization in the last year. One thing we realized was that, especially if we want to get young people involved, we need to start listening to them. We need to be able to understand what is it that they truly care about and give them the chance to speak up. And so that is why we went ahead and created this survey called Youth Speak. And what I want to share with you today is just some insight that we collected with the Youth Speak report for 2016. You guys want to check it out? It doesn't sound like it. Do you want to check it out? They're already saying yes, Julia. All right, so the theme for the year was the way the world will be shaped by 2030 depends on us. And we realized this looking at 2016, such an important year for the next 15 years where the Sustainable Development Goals were agreed upon. And we felt that it was important that we bring a youth component to this conversation. And so that's why we went ahead and said, this is going to be the theme for the report. The biggest question that we wanted to answer was, how can we engage millennials to take action? We've been trying to figure that out for a really long time. We said, you know what? We have a lot of young people around the world. Let's just ask them, yeah? And so we went ahead and did the survey. So a little bit about the demographics so that you understand where we're coming from. From an age representation perspective, 45% of the respondents were between the ages of 20 and 22, 25% between 16 and 19, and 15% between 23 and 24. And the next thing that you need to know is gender, yeah? So 57% male, 57% female, 42% male, and the responses. Last year the year before this, we had 40,000 responses. This year, we had a whopping 160,000 plus responses. So I'm going to get straight to the data. One of the first things you want to see, and I wanted to share with you, is we asked people, what would you like to do if you were paid to do anything? The top 4 things young people said they would like to do is travel, help, teach, and build. Do you relate with that? If you relate with that, you can put your hands up. That's cool. Another question that we asked was, what do you think about the future of the world? When you think about the future of the world, what is your biggest fear? And the things people said were lack of humanity, corruption, lack of resources, war, and global warming. But another statistic that's really scary for me is when we ask people, do you think that your society will be in a better or worse state in 15 years from now? 32% of them said it's going to be in a worse state from now. Yes, 68% did say it's going to be in a better state, but 32% of them still feel like the world's going to get worse from where we are. And as a young person, I feel like hope is all we have, and this is something that we need to tackle and really get this remaining percentage of people to get on board and say, yes, we can do something about the world. Something interesting to see here is looking at the biggest fears that we have as young people. The strongest influencers in society right now for us happen to be the government. 36% of our respondents says that the strongest ability to influence society is laid with the government. And so it makes it even more important for us as young people to be able to start working with the government right now. But another statistic that really made us open our eyes was that only 38% of the respondents actually knew what was the sustainable policy of their country. Something else to note was that in the next 10 years, people would like to work particularly in multinational corporations, 26% of that. But only 10% of young people said that they would actually want to work with the government after saying that the government was one of the most influential people in the society. When it came to technology, people would like to focus on spending their time on health and human services, education and agriculture. 55% of the respondents said they spend their life on their mobile phones. Imagine what we could do with organizations like the ADB, Planet International, and others to actually make young people spend the time that they do on technology on issues like education, agriculture, and health and human services. When we ask people, do you know the Sustainable Development Goals? And obviously, if I ask you this question, everyone will stand up and say, yes, I do. But 55% of the respondents said they don't know that. When we asked them, which one is your top Sustainable Development Goal, or your top 3, the highest one that got the biggest vote was quality education, and that sounds pretty much right. The reason is probably because of this.
There is no doubt that quality education can help reduce poverty, foster economic prosperity, improve health and well-being. It can help a person to understand this world better or build a base for the future. It's clear, it's simple, education is important. However, today, there are places around the world where 14 students share just one book. Girls simply drop out because there are no toilets in schools. Today, 58 million children are denied the basic right to education. Those children did not even have a choice, but you do.
So talking about education, we did some statistics, and the best ways for people to actually learn was through practical experiences where they didn't just feel informed, but actually felt involved. And that's one of the best ways for us to actually engage with young people, is to involve them and not just inform them about things. Another issue, and when we asked people which issues would you be interested in tackling through volunteering abroad, they said obviously education, but after that was poverty, followed by health and a couple of others. And it seemed right. Another quick video that I would like to show you, actually I won't, I'll just let that be for later because you'll see that through the course of today. It was around poverty, right? And you can quickly just go to youthforglobalgoals.org and see more of such videos that we've actually created for you to quickly be aware of the Sustainable Development Goals and understand what you can do about that. Talking about the Sustainable Development Goals, one of the things that Carmela spoke about this morning was Youth for Global Goals. It is an initiative that we came together to put with the ADB, Plan International, Public, and UN Habitat. It is an action campaign to mobilize youth to achieve the SDGs. We feel that we can't achieve this by ourselves, and if we actually have to go ahead and truly imagine the world that you want to live in the next 30 years, the way it really is for your kids and for the next generation, then we need to start doing something now. We need to get young people to be aware, understand, and act on the SDGs. And for that, we created a campaign called Youth for Global Goals. For Asia Pacific particularly, our goals are to achieve 10 million awareness and 10,000 youth mobilized in the next couple of years. Something that I really want to talk about today too is about the partnership with ADB. Some things that you should know. ISEC is present in 48 of the ADB member countries. In July 2015, we signed an MOU. And with that, we've just started to mobilize, and we've mobilized right now 10 people at the core of the ADB Youth for Asia team, and with the potential to do a lot more. And we're just starting off. With that, I just want to come to the close of this real quick space. I hope that this insight that you just saw through the survey gives you a little bit about what young people care about and what can you be doing towards actually shaping the world the way we want to see it by 2030. The question today was, how are we putting youth at the center of the 2030 agenda? And here's a final quick video for you to see that and realize how we're doing it. Thank you.
Hello world, this is Isaac Nicaragua checking in.
This is Isaac in Mongolia checking in.
This is Isaac in France checking in.
This is Isaac in Argentina. This is Isaac in Indonesia.
This is Isaac in Norway.
This is Isaac in Finland.
This is Isaac in Mexico.
This is Isaac in the UK.
Isaac in Armenia. Isaac in Iceland.
Isaac in Australia.
This is Isaac in Belgium.
This is Isaac in Bulgaria.
This is Isaac in Greece.
This is Isaac in Dutch. This is Isaac in Italy.
Isaac in Kazakhstan.
Isaac in Latvia.
This is Isaac in Malaysia.
This is Isaac in Mainland China.
This is Isaac in Peru.
Isaac in Puerto Rico.
This is Isaac in Romania.
Serbia.
This is Isaac in Singapore.
Isaac in South Africa.
Isaac in Taiwan.
Isaac in Nepal. This is Isaac in the Philippines. This is Isaac in Afghanistan.
This is Isaac in Denmark.
Isaac in Costa Rica.
This is Isaac in Slovakia.
Isaac in Nigeria.
Isaac in Oman. Isaac in Russia.
Isaac in the US.
This is Isaac in Bolivia. Isaac in Brazil.
Isaac in Cape Verde.
Isaac in El Salvador.
Isaac in New Zealand. Isaac in Georgia. This is Isaac in Chile.
Isaac in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
This is Isaac in Austria. Isaac in Tunisia. Isaac in Uruguay.
Isaac in Rwanda.
Isaac in Laos.
Isaac in Azerbaijan.
Isaac in Poland.
This is Isaac in Spain.
Isaac in the Netherlands.
Isaac in Pakistan.
This is Isaac International checking in from the global headquarters in Rotterdam.
We are the first generation that can end poverty.
And the last one that can do something about climate change.
Youth in India wants to contribute towards a better world for all.
Youth in the United States want to contribute to a better world for all.
Youth here in Armenia want to contribute for a better world for all.
Youth of Oman wants to contribute for a better world for all.
The youth in South Africa want a better world for all.
Youth globally want to contribute to a better world for all.
On this Earth Day, it's time we unite for it.
One for all.
One for all.
One for all.
One for all.